Grr, arg.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Mixtape Podcast, the podcast dedicated to examining film from a screenplay writer's perspective. I'm your host for this evening. My name is Marcelo Nostroza, joined as always by my partner in crime, Dean Stark. And on today's edition of the show, we will be talking about the 2012 film Upside Down. So, as I do every week, I will toss it over to my partner to take us through this film step by step.
Step by step. Upside Down, 2012, written and directed by Juan Solanas. And the premise is this. Adam and Eden fell in love as teens despite the fact they live on twinned worlds with opposing gravities that pull in the opposite directions. Adam sets out on a dangerous quest to reconnect with his love. So the opening scene is a voiceover by Adam, and he tells us he lives in the only solar system with double gravity. There are two twin planets rotating around one sun, each with its own opposite gravity. He basically says if a person or any object ventures to the other opposite gravity planet, they can't be there for too long as they will start to burn up. One world is kind of rich and futuristic, and the other one is kind of poor and, it looks like it's fucking from the 1900s. Not 1900s, but it's just poor as shit. And, I thought this was kind of funny. The only authorized contact between the worlds is a giant elevator. I know I said that was funny.
Elevator.
It's a space, yeah. It's a space elevator, and that will come. The funniness will come later, although it's not. It'll only be funny to me. But anyway, that'll come later because I didn't write it down here, so I can't remember exactly what the wording is. But that's the opening scene. It's a voiceover. He's explaining about the two planets. The visuals are, look, I had no idea what this movie was before Marcelo picked it. The visuals of this movie are amazing. Like, when we get into the movie, it's crazy how this guy filmed it, because it's called Upside Down because if you're on one world and you look up, the other world above you looks like it's upside down. Like, it's insane. I wouldn't even know how they would have done like most of it. It's crazy. But anyway, what did you think about? Did you feel like the opening scene gave the audience enough of an explanation as to what was gonna go forth like in the movie?
Yes, I'm really happy that the writer and the director of this film, because they're both the same person, took the time to explain how the laws of gravity work within his script. Because I feel without that opening narration by the lead male character in this movie, the way that the two people from the up above and the upside down interact wouldn't have worked. So I feel that the voiceover by the main character took a bunch of questions that the audience may have had in their head away from us at the very start. But I thought the opening to this film was fantastic because it got all the necessary exposition that it needed to out of the way, and the visuals in this entire film were fantastic. And I'm wondering, did you get vertigo watching this film? Because I kind of did.
Look, a lot of this movie is actually upside down, which is super fucking fun. Super fucking fun. So I didn't like that aspect. I understand why the director did it, because he does shots from the point of view of one person. And if there's two opposing people on if there's two people on two opposing planets, because there's a place where they can go where they can kind of work together, it's the camera's upside down. And it's like, oh, that's like, yeah, that was super annoying. I couldn't have watched this in the cinema. I would have gotten like sick. But anyway, the next scene, as a boy, so we go back. As a boy, Adam's aunt has something called pink pollen from bees that feed on flowers from both worlds, and basically it stabilizes gravity. So it doesn't pull it down and it doesn't pull it up. It stabilizes it, and which is like the precursor to like the whole movie. So Adam runs. I don't know what he's doing. He goes into the forest. He climbs a tree and throws a paper airplane, and it floats up into the other world. Like I said, like just watch this movie based on visuals because it's just so great how this guy did it. It floats up into the other world where Eden, who's also a young girl, because Adam is also a young girl. No, Eden, who is a young girl, picks it up and they see each other. But because they're on opposing worlds, they see each other upside down, which is kind of disorientating. So, how did you feel about them first meeting?
Yeah, I really liked their first meeting with Adam going into the woods to see to see the rain go in the opposite direction. I thought that he could have gotten rid of. Well, no, I take that back. I I really like their introduction because from the get go, I really bought into their relationship. For the most part, I did have some problems with how pushy Adam was as the film went on. For
Oh my
how,
god, I have big issues with him being so fucking pushy. Big issues. We'll get to it.
with that being said, I did love the Romeo and Juliet, the whole the whole thing as well. But I would have done it just a little bit differently.
Mm, yeah.
But for the most part, the visuals worked and their meeting worked very, very well.
This is a difficult film to review because it's difficult to describe what we're
It is.
seeing because it's so sci-fi and it's so
Yep.
fantasy. It's like reviewing Lord of the Rings. It's like there's so many visuals and so much going on. It's really difficult, like for people if they haven't seen it, to get a grasp of what we're talking about. So I would say see the film just for the
Yeah. Good.
visuals.
Yeah. Because to really get an understanding of what we're talking about, you have to have seen the movie, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be really
confusing.
difficult.
It's getting really fucking
What did I
confusing.
do?
Oh, Marcelo. Oh, Marcelo.
What did I do?
I don't know. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god.
It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's just hard to describe. That's all. It's just really difficult to describe. So they're older now. We push forward. Adam brings Eden down. He basically throws a rope up to her because she's above him, ties it around her waist, and pulls her down because her gravity is pulling her back up. So pulls her down. They're making out. They're doing lovey-dovey things, and they love each other. So she tells him someone from his world stole something from her world, and there are basically people, hunters, police, um, looking for this person. Now, this is one of the issues I have with the whole thing. He turns around and he is very deep in the forest. He's very, very. He's not like on the outskirts of the city. He's like really deep in the forest, and he didn't steal anything. So the hunters somehow are really deep in the forest, but there's no one else there but him. I don't know why they're there. Writer's convenience, I fucking guess, because this comes back at the end of the movie and it makes fucking no sense. So they approach and they're shooting, which is like fucking wow. Someone stole something and they're shooting at him. But anyway, that was a bit dramatic. He's shot, and as he's shot, he lets go. He's already tied Eden to the rope. He lets go of the rope, and she falls back to her world and kind of hits her head, and there's blood everywhere. And he thinks that basically she's dead, and they arrest him, even though he's not the culprit. I don't know why he got arrested, and the next scene, I really don't know why that happened, but maybe you can explain it, but that was that.
The government from the up above doesn't give a shit about the people from down below. So that really explains as to why the soldiers that found them in the forest would would do what they did. But with them finding Adam and Edith in the forest, that doesn't make any sense either. Because I would have just fixed that. Like, uh, here's how I would have fixed that. In their first meeting, I would have gone home with Edith and have Edith's mother be a member of the government and have her mother say, "I believe my my uh, uh, my child is lying to me, and I'm going to have one of my cronies follow her." If you just do that one thing,
Yeah. Yep.
them showing up uh, uh, uh,
Yep.
when the two principal characters are adults in
Mm.
this film makes more sense.
Yeah. No, that's true. So the next scene after that, for some fucking reason, they burn down his aunt's house and haul her away. We never see her again. We don't know what happens. I mean, it's a tad extreme considering I know they're not supposed to like interact, but they're kids, right? Kids do dumb shit. They're young. They're supposed to be like teenagers. So maybe you can give them like a break. But the fact that they
The
burned down his fucking house, hauled his aunt
the
away, like what the fuck?
I think the director of this film wanted the up above people to resemble sort of like this totalitarian, this sort of Nazi sort of deal with the
Yeah.
people from the down below.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why
Yeah.
he might have done that over dramatic scene
Yeah.
of burning down Adam's aunt's
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Because that sort of gives him a semi reason to do what he does later, but not
Mm.
really, because he doesn't do what he does later for politics at all. He only does it
Mm.
for one fucking reason, which
Yeah.
I totally get. But the way that
Yeah.
he's forceful towards that just pisses me off. Which
Yeah.
we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So now we skip in time. We go 10 years later. Adam, who, and you're going to laugh at this, this actually pissed me off, who has the exact same haircut he did 10 years prior. All I kept thinking was, oh my God, cut your hair. Like there was, me in hairstyles, right? I was like, are you really? For 10 years, you've had your hair that length? Like, and he has it the same style. And I'm like, the least you could have done, like, I understand it wasn't literally filmed 10 years later. I get that. You could have changed his hair. That's usually what happens in movies. You change someone's hair to make them look older or younger. But this fucking guy had the same, either shave it all off or just cut it shorter. But no. Fucking same long hair. And I'm just, the whole movie, I'm like, oh my God, this fucking guy's hair. Anyway, just fucking move on for the hair. So Adam is at work and he's working on refining the pink pollen for a beauty product. It's basically fucking Botox, but like amazing. It's like he puts it, it's like a pink cream, and he puts it on skin and it tightens the skin, but he hasn't perfected it yet because he doesn't have the proper tools he needs because he's poor. He's just working in like a shitty factory. He even says like, I could perfect this, but I need tools and I don't have them. So, and this was really fucking convenient. Someone randomly turns on the TV and it's a game show, and from the other planet. It's a game show from the other planet. And look, Eden is on it. Oh, what a fucking coincidence. He just happened to turn it on at that fucking time, and Eden comes on it, offering a job where she works. Oh, this was the funny bit. She works at somewhere called Trans World, which in today's age would have a completely different meaning. We're not going to talk about that. I just giggled at that a little bit. So she works at Trans World. Adam sees her and then freaks out. So the whole thing was just so fucking convenient. Like, a lot of things in this movie are convenient and look, this movie, visually stunning, right? Story is clunky, dialogue is clunky, but visually, like if you just turned off the dialogue, like muted it and just watched it, it's like visually stunning.
This movie is like if Zack Snyder was on Valium for
Yeah.
an hour and 45 minutes. I do agree with you that Adam getting the idea to work at Trans World was a little bit convenient, with him just turning on the TV in the shop that he works at and seeing her on the screen, and then finding out that she's alive for the first time in 10 years is a little bit convenient. But that's I will give this movie a pass in that specific moment. But I do agree with you that a lot of the writing and the dialogue is a little clunky, and things happen in this movie just to happen. They don't happen organically.
Yeah.
They just happen.
So the next scene really threw me because Adam goes to Trans World and he's got like a card to get in, and he's put on a jacket and he's got his little like face, like, what is it? What is it? Like an
Face
ID
screen?
badge on his, no,
No,
he's the ID
no,
badge on his jacket.
the ID badge, yeah.
And apparently he works there now. And it really threw me
Huh?
because I was like, oh, is there a
Wait,
scene missing? Like,
wait.
I didn't, there's a little bit of dialogue that explains it. That's like one line, but it just seemed
Oh,
really fucking sudden. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on. So he walks into the room, which is basically office cubes from both worlds. So when he walks, this is what I mean. Like, it's visually awesome. So he walks in, there's all these office cubes in front of him, but when he looks up, there are office cubes and people working upside down because this is they in the elevator, the big elevator that goes between both worlds. He works on level 0, and on level 0, it's a place where both the upper gravity and the lower gravity can work in cohesion. They're just above and below each other. It just looks really cool. What is it? From both worlds, blah, blah, blah. And he sees the boss asks him to come into the office. He sees the boss who tells him, and this is the little piece of dialogue we get, that his application was approved for the beauty cream. That's literally all we get about how and why he works there, which is not enough for me because what they're doing from a screenwriter's perspective is they're not showing us, they're telling us.
They're telling us.
And that's just fucking, I understand because the movie's already long. I understand they need to skip, but it's lazy because you need to show the audience. They could have cut out other shit, but yeah, the story that, I mean, now you know why, but kind of to me, it didn't make sense. He makes friends with a guy on the other gravity above him, his name is Bob, and he's really nice. And he asks him if he can get a message to somebody called Eden. This guy doesn't even know who Eden is, so it's like, well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he does, but he doesn't know who Eden is. He doesn't know what department she works in. Trans World is massive. It's got thousands of employees. Like, how would he even know who, do you know what I mean? Like, it was just like a bit, yeah, anyway, continue. Go for it.
It was a bit convenient, wouldn't you think?
I would say so, yes. Yes, it was convenient.
Yeah, the whole reason why Adam ends up working at Trans World, like, completely went over my head. So the fact that the writer didn't do a little scene explaining how he ended up getting getting permission to be in that building in the first place was something that I would have railed against, just like Dean did, if I would have noticed it. It was really cool to me when he went into the offices at Trans World, how in that specific section the gravity was balanced between the down below and the between the up above and the down below. Him having a friend that can possibly introduce him to Eden was a little bit sus, so to speak. But for the most part, I like the visuals, and I like that he found a friend that could help him find Edith, even if I didn't like the execution, and how he ultimately ended up working at Trans World. I thought it was fine, but it could have been better.
Yeah, so when he's set up at his office, he gets little like metal blocks, and they're called antimatter gravity, and they have to stay cool because once they start getting hot, they just burst into flames. So that's why they put them in the fridge, and it basically it's gravity from the other world, right? It's their gravity, and they say to him, look, you're going to be weighed when you come in and when you leave. That doesn't really work because when you go to work versus when you leave, you've had lunch, you've drunk water, you've drunk caffeine. That puts on weight, right? So the weighing thing makes no sense because if you go and you're 150 pounds and you leave and you're 151 pounds, you could have just drunk 2 liters of water. Like that didn't, I understand where the concept came from, but that doesn't make sense to me because that's not fucking proof of anything. Anyway, I had to explain that before I got to the next scene because Adam starts to hoard the antimatter gravity like metal sticks. He again, we're not shown. He finds some janitor's room, and then he finds a little nook that he can hide them in. It's never shown where it is. It's never shown how he found it. I guess he just found it. I don't know.
Yeah, but how do we know? How do we know that the air vent that he sticks them in doesn't have actual air that won't actually suck up the bars of the whatever that he
Well,
needs?
he
Like, how do
doesn't
we?
know. Yeah, he does. Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
we don't know. Nobody fucking knows. So anyway, he factions a vest and he puts the antimatter gravity metal things into the vest, and he straps them around his ankles, like he's hoarded like a lot of them. And when he does, he flips and now he's walking on the ceiling. So now he can be in the other world because it's pulling him upwards. So they pull his gravity up. So he goes into the he doesn't really need to go into the other world because all he needs to do is flip upside down, which he has been, and then he can just walk into, he can just be on the other world. So that kind of made sense. So he goes up because now he knows where Eden works. He goes up. He sees Eden, but she doesn't remember him. And he's told she has amnesia since the accident, which kind of makes sense because she did hit her head and there was blood coming out. So it kind of made sense, but it's like the only thing she doesn't remember is him, but everything else she remembers, which is kind
That's
of not how
convenient,
amnesia
right?
works. That's not really how. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but if you have amnesia, you kind of don't remember like most things. But we don't know because we actually don't know anything about her. We know nothing about her background. So
Mhm.
there's another stick that I don't even want to deal with. So he tries to jolt her memory, but she can't remember. She's just looking at him like she doesn't even know who the fuck he is. But now his anti-gravity starts burning up because remember at the beginning he says if somebody spends too much time in the other world, they start to burn up because that's not their natural gravity. So he leaves very quickly, and that's that scene.
Yeah, look, of all the problems that are in this movie, one thing fucking pissed me off the most. We know nothing about the primary main love interest in this movie other than the fact that she fell in love with this boy and this boy came into the her world to say how much he loved her. Like, do you understand how good this movie would have been if they would have done some work with Edith and tied Edith's family into the larger government
Yeah,
that runs the upside down and and then takes advantage of the down below? That would have been so awesome.
yeah, I know.
You you would have you would have had a love story and a political thriller in the center of it, but they glaze over the politics of this movie to focus on the love story,
Yeah,
which is kind of annoying to me
yeah, I
because
know.
initially why I chose this movie was for the love story, but I thought the
Mm,
love story which is what I imagine the writer and the director sold this movie on was undercooked.
mm,
And you can't do that if you want to center your film around a love story. The last thing that you have to overcook is the thing that you center your film around. You can overcook pretty
yeah,
much everything else,
yeah,
but you can't overcook your central driving
yeah,
point of the film because if you do that, it just doesn't work.
yeah,
And during this film, I was really starting to get that feeling, and it really bothered me so much.
yeah. So Eden calls Adam. She thinks his name is Bob. She likes him. She thinks he's cute, and asks to go to dinner. And he says yes. So goes to Adam gets to the other gravity, the other planet, and he goes outside because he's never actually been outside the building on the other planet. And he goes outside, and it's all futuristic. Look, it's not amazing, right? It's not amazing. It's a little bit futuristic, but the colors are still drab. Like it's
The upper body, yeah.
it's not that great. Like it's cleaner, right? But it's not. If you're going to make two opposing planets, you've got to make them vastly different. You've got to make one that looks like a Garden of Eden, and you've got to make the other one look like the depths of hell, right? There has to be a massive contrast. So he goes there and he meets up with Eden at the restaurant, and he sits down with her. And this is the part where I got really fucking annoyed because he's like, "Don't you remember me? Don't you remember me?" And like he knows she's got amnesia, and she's like, "No, I don't remember you." And this is when he starts being a little bit forceful with her. And she gets the shits, and she's like, "I don't know who the fuck." Imagine if someone came up to you and they're like, "Yeah, you know me," like, and you legitimately do not know that person, and they're being really forceful about it. Like, I would walk the fuck away, which is kind of what she did. And so wait a minute, he's being forced with her. She doesn't remember him. She gets up and goes to leave because she's just really nervous. She's like, "Okay, I don't know this guy. This guy's being a bit forceful," and yeah, she thinks he's a bit of a weirdo now. But he convinces her to eat with him. But it was very, very forceful because he could see she was uncomfortable. He could see she was nervous. He could see that she just wanted to go away. But he persisted. But he persisted in not a cute way. It was I want what I want, and I don't care that you're uncomfortable. I've done, I miss you, and I want to sit here and have food with you. I think the writer thought it was going to be okay, but from a female perspective, it wasn't okay because eventually she was like, "Okay, I'll sit with you." They end up having a nice lunch and dinner, whatever they were doing. When his antimatter gravity things start to burn up, and he has to like run off, and he runs into the ocean, and he goes back to his own world. But for me, it was just a bit. I want, and not taking into account how she's feeling. And I thought, if this guy is like that in real life, that's going to be a problem for his relationships. But anyway, I didn't like that at all.
That really pissed me off a lot, because I would have possibly found another way to rewrite it. Like, for example, if Edith's parents were in this movie, what if the trans organization made up this medicine that dose by dose took away her amnesia? And let's say that she took it before she met Adam in the restaurant. And you could still have him be forceful, but let's say like when she started to walk away for the first time and he grabs her as she's going down the stairs, you could have had her, you could have the director show a visible flash of them talking together when they were children, indicating to the audience that her memories were coming back. If you
Yes.
did that,
Yes.
Adam's forcefulness and his downright stupid behavior. Because
Mm.
another thing that's wrong with this, if for any reason this woman yells out to security in the restaurant, he could get himself arrested. And if he gets himself arrested, he's fucked.
Yeah, I know.
And the whole movie is over. So I think that the writer just wanted to write something, but really just wanted to write a really, really cool scene and to
Yeah.
show the audience how desperate Adam was. But by going down this road as a writer, I really think that he didn't think it all the way through, because if he did, I think that he would have thought of a better way to do it.
Yeah. No, I agree. So Adam is now putting on a demonstration of his new beauty product because he's perfected it. And he's doing it in front of a lot of investors at Transworld where he works. When Eden walks in and sees him, she thinks his name is Bob, but she sees him, but obviously in his gravity, so he's upside down to her. And he tries to kind of hide his face, and she gets annoyed and runs out, but not before he says his real name is Adam Kirk. When she gets it, okay, there's two parts to the scene. She gets home, she starts to remember her first meeting with him when they were kids. First of all, that meeting was for investors. First of all, we don't know what her job is. Why was she there?
Okay.
Tell me.
The writer could have tied that into her parents, right? If her
Yes.
parents were in this fucking movie, you
Yeah.
could have had her. You could have had her parents be two investors on the board at Transworld, and that's how she ends up working there, and that's how she has permission to be in this meeting. Duh.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes no sense. It's like, oh, hang on, we need to bust him. Yeah, let's just do this. It makes no sense. And then when she gets home, she starts to remember her first meeting with him. There's nothing that usually, look, when you have amnesia in a movie, not I don't know about real life, but in movies, there has to be a trigger point. There has to be something that triggers that person, like to trigger a memory. She's already seen him at his office, at her
Do
office.
it at the
She's already
restaurant.
seen him at the restaurant. What
Do it at the
makes
restaurant.
Yeah, what makes seeing him giving a demonstration trigger the memory? She's already seen him 3 times. Is it the fact that he's upside down? Is that what it but we'll never know because that wasn't explained. So I thought that was a little bit, again, convenient.
Yeah, look, obviously from the small comments that I made while Dean was speaking, I thought that this could have been written better. Like if Edith's parents were in this film and they worked on the board, that would explain her possibly getting a job at Transwell because if we know one thing about rich people, they want to make shit easier for their nepo babies and they plant them in positions that their nepo babies aren't ready for and they just do shit
Yeah,
because they
true,
can.
true.
But to address Dean's point of having a trigger point of where Edith's Edith's amnesia could make sense, I would have done it at the restaurant because it doesn't make
Yeah.
sense that she would have this memory of Adam from out of nowhere when she went home.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even sleeping. I
No,
believe. I think that she just
she was
passed
awake.
out after she. I think she just passed out after looking at some flowers.
She was crying. She was sitting on her couch crying.
Why did I do this to myself? Why did I pick this movie? God damn it!
I've been asking myself that question since I pressed play on it. I don't know. I don't know, Marcelo. Anyway, so Adam races to his friend's place that he made at work, the guy from the Upside Down, who makes him a vest that won't overheat. Now, this guy, again, we don't even know what he does. How is he able to make a vest that doesn't overheat with the antimatter gravity, like metal things? Like, is that what he did? I don't know.
No, but here's another way that you could explain this guy. Like in their first meeting, instead of Adam coming across him in some office somewhere, you could have Adam come to a R&D section of the up above, and that would explain how this guy is able to make a vest that allows Adam to stay in the world up above without overheating.
Yeah.
Like this is like
Yeah.
what the
that's
hell?
That's not my favorite part of the scene. My favorite part of the scene is Adam shows his friend he's solved the issue of the 2 gravities. So he's taken gravity from one planet and the other planet, and he can stabilize them so neither pushes or pulls, it's balanced. When did he do that?
Oh no! But didn't he? But didn't he do that?
That's not the cream. Yeah, that's what I mean. But when did he do that? Because all we've ever seen him work on is the beauty cream. But now suddenly he can stabilize 2 gravities? How? How does that happen? I'll leave that with you, shall I?
But the fat character, the guy that made Adam the vest so Adam could stay in the up above longer. There is a scene where the guy where the fat guy figures out how to stabilize people.
Yes.
How to stabilize a goal. Yeah. So I'm thinking that's how we figured out that. But how does that relate to Adam? I don't.
I don't know.
Like did he tell Adam? Like there should have been a scene. Like
there should have been a lot
to fix this. If you have Adam, no, you can't have Adam because Adam is from the up down below. God damn it, this doesn't work.
No. For some reason, Adam just knew via his psychic abilities that he doesn't have that Eden would be at the restaurant at a certain time because he just walks in and she's just fucking there as if she just hangs out there all the time. So she runs up to him. She goes, "I remember you," and then kisses him. And I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. When did that? They've skipped something here." And then the police come in and chase him out. How the police knew he was there, fucking tell me. Fucking tell me. And so anyway, how they knew he was there is fucking beyond me. And now he's a fugitive. But how did they know he was there? How did they know he was from the other gravity?
It feels like pieces of this movie are missing.
A lot of this movie is missing.
And you could just fix it by giving Edith a backstory and giving her parents, because that would explain everything.
Yeah, I know. So Adam's back in his world, and he goes to the spot where he first met Eden deep in the forest. And Eden comes, and he's got his vest on, and he comes to her side. And they're at kind of the far end of the forest when, again, out of nowhere, come police. I don't know why they're there, because it wasn't shown that she was followed or anything. They're firing at them. They somehow knew they were going to be there. So they arrest. It's a long fucking scene. They end up arresting her. Adam falls back to his gravity, but now she thinks he's dead because he fell a long way, but conveniently fell into a tree and survived. So that was that scene. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Run its convenience. Just go.
Yep. Adam is walking down the street when a car drives up, pulls him in, demanding the ingredient for the beauty cream, because he's left trans world, but he didn't give him the key ingredient that makes the beauty cream work. So some thugs from trans world I don't know why they thought he would be randomly in the street. Who knows?
Okay, well, wait a minute. How can
they be in his world?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, well, that's another question. We'll just add that to the scroll of questions we have about this fucking movie. So his friend from the other world that fashioned the vest, he's from the upside down world, visits him, and Adam's like, "Oh my god, how are you here? Like, you're not even wearing a vest." And he said he's perfected the formula. Again, he can make vests. He's a scientist. He can fucking do everything, this guy. So he perfected the formula of the balancing potion that Adam showed him in the previous scene, where you don't actually have to wear a vest. You just drink it, and you're able to stabilize your gravity in the other thing. Then he hands him a note from Eden. Adam meets up with her on his world, and she took the formula, which is how she's able to be on his world. And she tells him she's pregnant with twins because there was a brief 2-second sex scene before. And that was it. This is the shortest podcast ever. That's literally the fucking end of the movie.
I would just say, writer's convenience. It's cool that Edith and Adam got to be on the same world for once. But I don't know how that's work. And the pregnancy came out of nowhere because I just at that point in this movie I was already seeing red.
I was checked out way before too. Don't worry. I want to thank Marcelo for picking this movie, and I just want to make it clear that he picked it. I didn't. So if you're going to blame anybody, it's him you want to email. Remember, mixtapepod@aol.com if you want to email Marcelo and berate him for what he's put us through.
I really think there's a good movie here somewhere.
It's just not what we saw. Just not what we saw. Somewhere in there.
It's not here.
It's not here. It's not here.
Not here at all. But guys, if you're still here and you like what we do, and you want to send us an email to...
Oh, don't worry about my trivia. You're so done with this movie, you don't even care about my trivia.
Scratch that.
You want this podcast to be ever so fucking bad.
What's your trivia?
I don't have much, but it is something because it is my little pocket of the podcast. My 2 pieces of trivia to this amazing film is this. The film was inspired by a dream that the director had.
You know what?
I don't think... Yeah, what? This
movie felt like the visuals felt like
a dream. Yeah.
Yeah, this whole movie, the visuals felt like a dream. It makes sense. It makes sense.
And my last piece of trivia is Emile Hirsch was actually originally supposed to star.
Okay.
And that was it. That's my trivia.
As I was saying before, Dean told me that I fucked up again.
This whole movie is your fuck up. This whole fucking
Yes!
podcast.
Fuck up!
Fuck up.
Oh God! Seriously, seriously, guys. When you come listening to our show, sometimes you get gold and sometimes you get crap.
We're gonna lose subscribers because of this. We're gonna fucking lose half the subscribers. They're gonna go, what the fuck? They're gonna click off. They're gonna click off because of you, and I'm gonna blame you. It's gonna be your fault.
Blame me. I deserve it. I will take my 50 lashes or whatever. But, but take two. If you guys like what we do here at all, and you want to send us suggestions, comments, questions, whatever, what have you, you can email us. You can email us at themixtapepod at AOL.com. Until next time, for my fellow co-host that is thoroughly pissed off in a good way, I will just simply say, if someone...
Wait a minute. What's next week? What is happening with you? What is happening with you?
Thank you.
This is the best part of the podcast.
Thank you. If for some reason you are to come back next week we'll be talking about the film Wrong Turn, starring one of my favorite actresses, actresses ever, Eliza Dushku, for reasons I shall just say. 5 by 5. If you
5 by 5.
Yep, 5 by 5. If you know, you know. But until next week, as I say often, if someone is ever kind enough to make you a mixtape, that must truly mean that they love you.
The Mixtape Podcast is a Balloonhead Productions presentation.